Okay, hey everybody. Sorry about the delay. Um, I just restarted my computer and got it over with. I can cut it out for the replay of this, but the restart seemed to have fixed it. I don't know what's up with this PC, but it's great at streaming unless it's been on for a little while, and then it just drops frames like crazy and it needs a restart. So anyway, things are looking good now. So I'm just going to continue the work that we had done last week. So I think it was last Friday. Last Friday afternoon, I started streaming some open source work with React Native Community's async storage package. So I've been working on it and communicating back and forth with the maintainer of the repository. So first, let me show you what I've done since the last stream, and then we'll get into adding some stuff. So let's make sure the font's big enough. Let's look at the packages. So you notice, like in examples, the web example that we made is missing. So that's going to be included in a different pull request. So that's not there, but it exists on my computer on some different branches, so it will be available. But basically, the two files that I've been working on the most are here in the WebStorage, the index file for WebStorage, and then the tests. So I did a lot of tests, and so this basically tests each method on that web storage, and it tests it both with local storage and with session storage. So both of them are there. We're good so far. And I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but that's one of my kids crying. So my wife and my father-in-law are here, so I'm sure it'll be taken care of. All right, so just realized I didn't have any of my music playing. Felt weird. All right, that's better. Then there's no action in the live chat. So if anybody can hear this, throw something in the live chat so I know that that y'all can hear me and you're watching. It always makes me nervous if there's nothing in the chat. All right, so I'm not gonna mess. Well, I guess we could. Yeah, let's do. So there's an idea in programming called test-driven development, and part of that idea is that you write tests before you write code. So you write the tests. Obviously, the tests fail because you haven't written the code yet. Then, when you write the code, you know you've done it right whenever the tests pass. So let's try to do that. Let's see if we can do that. So I do have some tests that are commented out here. Let's uncomment them. Uncomment the tests, and let's take a look at what these tests are doing. Like, I'm assuming they're all gonna fail, so let's run this. We'll do yarn test unit. I think that's the command. That's kind of weird. That's weird that they worked. Why did they work? Actually, it didn't give me like any output there. Let me make sure that's the right command. yarn test unit. Yeah, let's run that again. Yeah. Why did everything pass? We need to make these tests fail first. So let's look at why these actually worked. Let me know if the font's too big or too small. Hey, all right, I see a few of you in the chat. Hey, good to see you all. There's some familiar names in the chat. And okay. So, all right, so these are the new tests that should be failing, I would assume. So this is testing the utils, right? So right now I have everything working just for your normal stuff that you would want to do, like save stuff, basically save stuff in local storage or session storage, and then retrieve things from that storage, right? Or delete things. That all works, but there are some options that are available on the mobile version of async storage in this repo that I haven't implemented yet. These tests have to do with those options, and I just copied these tests directly from the test file for the mobile version of the async storage. And I figure we could use these to check and make sure that we have the functionality that is expected. Okay. And options is passed in as like the second parameter when you're using web storage or async storage. So it's passed in as an object, so we could always add more. But I think right now there's only two, and that's logger and error handler. Okay, so we gotta figure out how this is gonna work. Mock storage, logger. Oh, okay. I remember this now. These tests aren't going to be as useful as I thought. So these tests are for, like, these tests were written for a function that is not equivalent to what we're testing. So I still think we should have logger and error handler, but we're not necessarily going to be able to use these exactly as is. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult, but I think it'll be, the result will still be the same. All right, so we can still know what to test. So we want to test if it uses the logger, if we turn logger on, and then if it uses the error handler when that's provided as well. So the logger looks like it's just supposed to be expect logger function to be called read single key action, read single key. Okay, so it looks like logger is just going to be a function that console logs what would just happen. So what method was called, and then what key was passed in, or whatever was passed in. In this case, just the key was passed in, but potentially it could be more than that, right, if we're trying to add keys and values. All right, so we're mocking this logger function. All right, it's not terrible. Okay, we do need to change this up, right? Because when we call web storage, when we create a new web storage, we're not passing this in, right? So when we create a new web storage, we have You know, I'm going to try to put, it's going to be a little cramped to put things side by side, but I think it'll be helpful to be able to open up multiple files. So I want to look at our main file here. It looks like, so like right now, we're passing in these options. You know what? We may have this wrong. I may have this wrong in terms of options, and we may want to wait. We may want to hold off on it. So these options would be passed into async storage when it let's see, like when we initialize that. So we wouldn't be creating a new web storage. I'll just show you. So if we go into core, the core package, into source, oh here, tests. So this is where those async storage tests are. So we have, like when we're creating new async storage, okay, that's when you would pass in your storage type, which would be a new instance of WebStorage plus these. So it wouldn't make sense that we're also going to try to do this on WebStorage. So I think we can get rid of these for now. So let's get rid of everything in here. Oops. And I'm gonna save this. I'm not gonna delete this part in here because this will be a reminder for me, but we don't need that. And the type of utils that we may need, we actually have. We have some of them. Let's see. So in web storage, if you get set single, so if you call set single in web storage and you pass in options as your third, so you pass in a key, a value, and then options, then one of the options here is I guess determining whether or not you're going to replace it. So there's not really that much about options that have been said, so I think I'm going to delay that. We're not going to do the options right now. We're going to verify that I haven't messed up the unit test. Alright, great. Everything's still passed. Okay. Check our status here, and what is it? Sorry, my wife's moving stuff around in the background, so sorry about all the noise. Just checking my messages. Okay, let's just commit this, and then actually no, you know what? Let's look at our pull request. My pull request is not going to get accepted until we fix the typing issues that we have. So let's check our types. So let's run yarn test. I believe that's, yeah, there we go. Let's fix these type errors. Now some of them I just have no clue how to fix. So basically anything that says packages first, that's stuff that I could probably fix. But anything above that is all from node modules. And we shouldn't be looking through the node modules. So we need to figure out a way to get, basically block it from looking at these node modules, which I've tried like the normal ways from the documentation, and it's not working. So I'm not 100% sure what to do about that. But let's see, we should have a TypeScript, a TS config. Let's check our TS config. It looks like we have an include, but we don't have an exclude. So let's try to exclude our node modules, which I've attempted to do already. And let's see if we can do it again. Earlier today, I did something that I tried yesterday. Yesterday I tried it, it didn't work. Today I tried basically what I thought was the same thing, and it worked. So I'm down with trying this same thing again. So you should be able to do an exclude, and it's an array, and then we should be able to exclude node modules. Oops. Thought it was going to autocomplete. Let's make sure. Okay, yeah, it is the root node module. So you should be able to do node modules, and we're going to save that. And let's test again. Nah, see, we still have node modules here. So that should do it. Actually, this is good. It says the exclude property only affects the files included via the include property. Okay. Interesting. Alright, so we can that's very odd. So my initial thought is like, okay, if we are only excluding stuff that we've already included, why don't I just try to do this? This seems like a terrible way to do it. Let's include node modules and then exclude node modules. If this works, I'm not going to know what to do because there's no way I want to leave it like that. But I'm just too curious. I got to know if this will work. No, it didn't work anyway. Okay. I'm kind of glad that didn't work. Alright, so maybe exclude is not what we want. Maybe we need to go to documentation. There we go. Exclude node modules, TypeScript. Pilot search for TSK. Oh, sorry. This is really small. Okay. I want to make sure the tsconfig is actually being called. So it looks like if we invoke TypeScript with no input files, then it'll search for tsconfig. If you invoke with no input files and the project command, it specifies a path for that file. Alright, so let's verify that that's the case. So in our package JSON, which we'll open up over here so we can see them both. In our package JSON, that's where we're running TSC, so we have no emit declaration false, emit declaration only false. Okay, so we're not passing in input files, and we're not specifying our project directory. So that's good. So our tsconfig should be working. And you know what? In fact, I forgot I did this earlier. I added this, and it did work. So I believe that that's working. So let's see what's happening up here. Maybe that might be messing things up. Okay, target. I don't think any compiler options would be messing this up. Alright, well, I don't have any ideas. Oh, Phoenix is here. Says, hey, how are you? Got to catch you after a long time. Hey, yeah, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, so it's been hard to stream because a lot of stuff I've been working on is not open source. So I finally got to work on some open source stuff, and it's pretty awesome to be able to get back into it. I also put out a couple of new videos too, which if you've been watching for a long time, you probably don't need the videos. They're kind of like basic tutorials. I did one on Hacktoberfest and one on doing pull requests. But I figured I got asked about the pull request thing, so I thought, hey, seems like at least somebody wants to know about it, so I may as well do a video on it. Okay. Alright, so let's go back to our documentation then and see what we can find. Compiler options, let's see. Okay, files with unspecified. Files in the containing directory. Alright, so I don't think we're using files at all. So that shouldn't be an issue. Exclude property defaults to excluding node modules. So it should exclude node modules by default. This is so weird. Oh, cool. Phoenix is going to participate in Hacktoberfest. That's awesome. I definitely encourage you all to participate. If you're not sure what it is, check out the video I did a couple days ago on it. It's a cool opportunity to get an open source and get free t-shirt. I heard from somebody at work that if you contribute to Microsoft repositories during Hacktoberfest, you get a Microsoft shirt too. So I don't know firsthand, but that's what I heard. I'm gonna have to check into that. I think this is going to be a difficult problem to solve because it seems like something's happening and the default behavior is not being followed. So let's look at our file again. And let's look at our output. This is kind of weird. TypeScript is throwing a type error. Node modules TypeScript form data. You know what I wonder? No, it is those node modules. Shoot. I was wondering if we had like some node modules inside of another folder, but it doesn't look. It looks like that is the root node modules folder. And it's all around. These are all around form data. Weird. Umberto says, I'm completely unfamiliar with TypeScript, but I found a GitHub issue on another project that might be related. Hopefully this isn't an empty rabbit hole project. Definitely typed issue. Okay. Let me copy and paste this and see if we can figure out what this issue is. There we go. Usually when I'm looking when I'm looking through stuff on GitHub like this, issues, I scroll until I find one that has a lot of this stuff, a lot of thumbs up and all that, because that's usually a good answer. Okay. Okay, so we could kind of like this seems almost, we'll keep this in mind, but this doesn't seem like a real fix though. Let's see if we got something else. All right. Okay. Wow, this is a pretty long thread here. I've not seen a thread this long on GitHub for a while. Issues with globals. And you know what's crazy is this issue. All these comments are kind of old. Like, it's odd to have an issue like this. All right. Well, we'll go to consider reopening the issue. It still exists with. Should open issue here. All right. So maybe this will have some newer stuff. Hmm. Hmm. You know, let's look at the repository. I just want to verify. So we're gonna go. Let's go to the master branch, and let's look at our tsconfig. Okay. I just wanted to verify that I hadn't inadvertently changed something from what it was originally, but it looks like I did not. By default, all visible at types packages are included in compilation. Package and node modules at types of any. Alright, this might this might be what's happening here. Any folder considered visible. Types, and so on. Hmm. Alright, let's do it then. Let's try this. And I believe this is the same solution from here, which somehow I lost. I lost the thing that had what we needed. There we go. Yeah, compiler options types, right? So this makes a little bit more sense now. Let's go to our tsconfig file. And inside compiler options, I think I copied and pasted too much. Let's just put types. And I believe this will be what are we going to say for our types? So we want to say, I think we want to not include, trying to find the very beginning of this. Alright, so here's the beginning. So the errors we're getting are with React Native. React Native. Yeah, so it looks like all the errors are with React Native. So I wonder if we just say node. Let's see what happens with this. I don't know if this will fix it, but I just want to try it. Cannot find type definition for file. Let's try React Native. I think I just made more errors. Let's see. Exclude only permits. Okay. Alright, John's saying the exclude will not have an effect. Okay. So that definitely made things worse. Let me go. I want to go back to that. This issue here. So we say like React Native Jest. Let me just copy and paste this. I guess I could scroll up and see. Yeah, I don't think we're using all these. So let's see if this works. If we just paste this in. Alright. Alright, you know what? Let's take that out for now. And I don't know that much about tsconfig, but I don't understand why we're including this in our tsconfig. So I'm just going to save and try again. $18 errors. Alright, so we're back down. We went from 90 errors back down to 18. Okay. Let's see. Let's go back to the docs. Let's see, type specified only. Alright, so types is like a whitelist. So only those will be included. Other packages under no models types will not be included. Oh, okay. Let's try this one. Let's just set it to an empty array. Oh, okay. Automatic inclusion is only important if you're using files with global declarations. Alright. This is starting to make more sense. Let's back out to where we were. And let's stay. We need Jest. Let's see what we get. And let's see what else we need. React Native. See, this, it should not have even looked at React Native. It's weird. Alright, that should not have happened, right? We just put in types Jest. We're saving this. What is this? make sure this is saved. Try again. Did that run? Found 18 errors. Again, it's just like the same thing. This is a frustrating problem. So the types setting here should mean that this gets ignored. But it's not. Now there should be some errors associated with this, but it should be different. So let's see what happens when we run it with no types. Alright, so this 91 errors. Okay, but I want to see what errors we're getting. Alright, so can't find name jest, right, which is why I wanted to include jest. But it's still looking through these types, React Native types. It's like for some reason I can't get it to stop looking in node modules types React Native. Is it because it's global? Alright, let's get rid of that because that hasn't made it any better. Okay. Alright, so we're back down to our 18 errors. And let's see about... It never hurt to just copy and paste errors. Let's copy and paste like the whole thing. See if somebody's put this whole error in somewhere. And I think this is... Yeah, this is kind of, it's not the same issue exactly, but it seems like it's related. Nice. Alright, cool. This is definitely the same error. Fixed by set compiler options types manually. Okay, we've tried that. Alright, this looks like it's... Some of the issues are not going to work for us because this has to do with styled components. Well, that's kind of disappointing because all those were related. The solutions were related to going to a different version of TypeScript or style components. All right, cool. Umberto found a Stack Overflow question, and Umberto, have a nice lunch with your wife. Thanks for helping out. So let's put this in, see what we got. Actually, I want to save those results. Let's put this in here. Let's see. Uh-oh. Let's see. What the heck? I want this to be in like as a web address. I don't want to search. All right. Oh, okay. John Hansen says there's a compiler option of skip libcheck. It's false by default. We could try to set it to true. All right, that actually sounds pretty good. Let's do this too. What? Are you serious? Stack Overflow. What are you doing to me? Okay. There we go. Okay. I'm not sure. John Hansen said skip libcheck. Let's try to do that skip libcheck. Just put it right here. Alright, let's see if this works for us. Okay, we only found 6 errors. I like it. I like that. I think that was it. I think the award for the right answer goes to John Hansen. Thank you. Alright, awesome. So we're going to do that for now. Wonderful. So now we can take a look at these type errors, the ones that we actually need to work on. So we can go to our packages or web storage in our tests. Okay, so we have a type error in our test. Okay. Alright, I know what this is. Let's take a look at it. Alright, so up here we have, so I'm using .each. So Jest has this .each feature where basically you can pass it in an array of, well, it's, you can pass it in what you want it to test, and it will run through all the tests within the each function, and it will run them with these variables. So like, for example, the first time it goes through, it'll run through and it'll say storage name is session storage and storage boolean is false. And it'll run all the tests like that. Then it'll run all the tests again with storage name as local storage and storage boolean as a boolean, right? For some reason though, it's telling me that I can't assign each to that. Just grab each. Okay, templates, strings, array. So it seems like Jest has said strings any. That's odd. Let's see. Template strings array is what it's looking for, but we don't want that. Placeholders, any. Alright, so it looks like, I mean, you all can see this definition up here. It looks like the first parameter is saying it's template strings array, which is I suppose like a custom type, right, that they've made in Jest. So we may have to look at deeper into Jest and what's going on there. And then the second is placeholders, and that could be any. So it seems like, based on the name, it seems like template strings array needs to be an array of strings. And then placeholders can be an array of anything. And that's why our second one here works. And now that we've put something in here, like this one works. So like everything after that first parameter, you can put whatever you want in. The problem is with this parameter here, I am not sure. Let's see if we can get template strings array. Let's look up Jest template strings array. There we go. Alright, these two look promising. See pull request that affect the issue. Got it. Okay. Oops. That was an accidental click. Okay. Let's see if this is the problem. Wow, there's some wild stuff going on here. All right. It looks like nobody is. Nobody's actually talking about template strings array in this issue. So actually, let's do this. Definitely typed. See what this is. All right, here we go. We got lots of template strings arrays here. Let's see if we can find more of this. Template string. Is template strings array like? All right, we have issues with it. One second. Alright, that's for an older version. Alright, we need... Wow. This is wild. Alright, let me go back to this. Pass boolean to dot each. Let's see if anybody can do that. Just test boolean proper just. Alright. Enough research. Let's just do this. What if we did this? What would happen? Argument of type string is not assignable to the parameter of type template strings array. What if Alright, let's try this. Oh, that's interesting. Alright, but that caused issues here. So let's see what we have here. Alright. That's odd. It's odd, but let's see if it still works. So let's do unit tests. See if our unit tests still work or if they break now. Hey, they still work. So what if I just remove these? It's just moving it down. Okay. Dang it. Oops. No, that's not working. We're just keep pushing the problem. We keep pushing it somewhere else, right? Oh, okay. Sanskar asks how to get black Google. It's a it's just a theme, so you can change your Chrome themes. So it's just a dark Chrome theme. I put a link to it in the comments to my Hacktoberfest video, so if you check out that video, then you can find the link to it. I think it's called Morpheus Dark, something like that. Okay. So we're getting an issue here because we've established that the type. Actually, you know what? We can fix this. We can fix this. All right, because I am the one that decided what type we should expect here. So let's just go to our original file here, and let's say, what were we looking for? session storage boolean boolean string. Now alright, that fixed it. Now it's okay. Well, string boolean, it seems like it fixed it. Okay. Oh my goodness. That's insane. Alright, let's make sure our unit tests still work. That's weird. I mean, it looked like it worked, but we didn't get our little readout that we normally do. There we go. Okay, everything still works. Now let's do our types again, and we should have one less error. Yep, so now we have 5 errors instead of 6. Alright, on to the next one. Okay, property key 2 is missing in the type, but required in type. Okay, alright, so it looks like we have set key 2 to required. Somewhere. But it is actually missing somewhere else. Alright, let's find it. This is in tests. Is it? Index.tests. 34. Another one in tests. Okay. 34. Set many. Key 1, key 2. Okay. Alright, so we need to go to our set many here in our original here and say basically keys. We can have an array of keys. All right. Alright, so that looks like we're expecting a key to be a string. Get many cakes. Okay. Man. Alright, TypeScript is like... TypeScript is killing me right now. Oh my goodness. And I believe that was probably the longest pause ever on a live stream that I've done. Okay. Alright, and my music is not good right now. Let's change it up. Alright, so we got new music. Let's sit back for a second. And think about this. Alright, so right now, our issue is here. Let's get that out of there. Let's see. So, key 2 is missing in this type, but required. Key 1, I need key 2. And so we're only putting in 2 keys at this point. But like potentially we could put in more keys, right? Save multiple items. More keys and value. You know what? I'm looking at the wrong spot. Why is it saying get many? It's set many. That's where it's at. So, alright. That was a problem. We were looking at the wrong spot right off the bat. So, values array. K and K. So let's look through this because maybe it might make more sense since this is the actual spot. Alright, interface array T. Okay, great. Type parameters and like all this kind of stuff. This is all TypeScript stuff, and I just started using TypeScript last week, so I'm very much just like learning as I'm going along and just jumping into this project that is already. It seems like it's pretty heavy into TypeScript. Let's get rid of the sidebar. There we go. Get a little more space. I don't get where we're getting this key 1 any, key 2 any from. Where is this? No results found. It's not in the project. This is like the oddest thing. I got this giant water bottle recently, and it has time marks on it. So you know how much water you should be drinking, and I think I'm behind. Oh yeah, I'm behind. Need to drink more water. All right. Okay. These type errors are the only thing stopping us from submitting this pull request. And it looks like I'm gonna try to talk through this, right? I know I'm not exactly sure what this is doing in TypeScript, but I'll talk through it, see if it helps. Okay, so it looks like the values. So I'm looking in this little tooltip up in the upper right hand corner of the screen. It's okay. It looks like the values can be. Values are supposed to be an array. But inside the array, we want objects. And those objects are K, this lowercase k in K, which I imagine is the key, and then the value is this T with K, which I don't know what that means. So we need to figure out what this means, I suppose. This K in K, TK. What the heck is that? Alright, that's not doing anything. Alright, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna copy and paste this thing in here, see if somebody has some explanation. And we can get rid of this. Alright, great. Nothing has this. So let's see. Let's find TypeScript. TypeScript translator. There we go. So what do we got? Alright, obviously, okay, that's an array. Let's get rid of this stuff then. Object K, TK. Alright, so this isn't going to do anything, I think, because we don't know what this stuff is. This K. Right? see if we could find something in here. Alright, that doesn't look like that. There's just not a lot that even looks like what we're trying to do. Huh. Alright, I just realized that these are two different errors. And so it's saying that the property... okay, so the key 2 is missing in the type key 1 string. And then key 1 is missing in the type key 2 string. Alright, well, we do have this number here we could look up. It's TS2741. Let's check this out. Alright, let's go to our back to our code and let's go to our types. Let's get rid of these. We go into our types here and see what we have. So here's our set many values array k and k. Let's see if we can get more info from here. I just want to know what these K's and T's are. Alright, let's look at core, the core package, and see what the types are here. right, empty storage model. I remember seeing that. Key in symbol, number, string, any. What does in mean? I might need to take a TypeScript course or something to understand this. Or what we could do is just skip this for now. That might be the best course of action. We could skip it, we could push our updates, and then just ask a question about it to the guy that's the repository maintainer. So these two errors are what we're going to skip. And then we're going to go to this one, which is in our actual file, not just in our tests. Type any is not assignable. Okay. All right, so let's do that. 53 in our index.ts file. Oh, wow. Okay. This actually might fix our problem for the other two. I think this is the root of these issues. We didn't assign types, so maybe it's trying to infer types. And we can't, right? So like, we need to make sure these types are, so get many keys. All right, we need to see how we're supposed to assign this, because keys array, okay. Is that what we want it to be? So the keys don't matter. I want keys to be should be something like that. I'm messing up the syntax. Okay.
You want like ice with milk, Dad?
Alright, let's see if I can. Let's look up how to assign a type. Type unknown is not assignable to type. Like, why? That's what I'm wondering about. Like, what if I just got rid of this? Like, all the other ones have promise. When they do have promise, it's promise void. I don't know. This one does have something weird. Get single type. Storage. Alright, let's just see. Well, let me get rid of this stuff that I did first. So I don't want to make too many changes at once, and then I won't be sure what worked and what didn't. Alright, so we set that back to how it originally was. I'm going to take this, and now I'm going to say void. See what happens. Okay, that is messing up more stuff, so let's put it back. Now let's look up how to add a type keys. I just don't understand, like, keys should be inside the promise. Alright, let's try to see how we use TypeScript with promise.all, because maybe there's some weird thing going on. There we go. Okay. Let me check my messages. Just make sure I don't get anything super important. Alright, so where's our promise? Promise.o. Alright, so normally you do promise. When you're doing promise.o, you are grouping together an array of promises. So what we're doing here is really, we're like making our array on the fly, right? We're making our array of promises on the fly inside of here. Okay. So I mean, this works in terms of like giving us the data we need.
I mean, I'll be here. They can drop them off over here. I know. Should I suggest that? That's fine. I will have it. Where do they want this one from? Alright, I'm gonna grab your milk, baby.
Alright, so maybe our promise needs to be. Thank you. My wife just made me espresso and brought it down. So nice. Alright. I kind of think we're getting somewhere. It's taking me a while to get here, but let's see. So we have this promise, and we can see here in this like tooltip that's popping up is that when we do promise all, it's defaulting to any as the type. What if we change this and instead of any we gave it this? I don't think this will work right away, but I think we're on the right track. So we're giving it this, right? And we do, so this is not just gonna be this. Actually, what if we did it like this? Alright, let's go back. And, what could we make this? Let's what is actually getting returned here? Are we returning an array or an object? I believe we're returning an object. Maybe maybe we can do this. No. Yeah, John put a coffee emoji. Cheers. Alright. Honestly, like, this problem is a little rough, but I am having a good time streaming it. So, not sure how entertaining it is for you all. Okay. But I kind of think we've narrowed this down. Like, several issues are going to be fixed here. Like you can see, we've gotten rid of a lot of red squigglies just by adding this. It's just a matter of what has to be in here. So any is going to give us an issue, obviously. Null is giving us an issue. Like really, get many is a promise, and it's going to return. Let me get rid of this for a second, because what it's actually going to return is, so it is going to return a key, and this key is going to be string no, I don't want it to be and then it's going to be value string or null. Like that's really what it's going to be. But I can't write it like that. I know what it is. I just don't know the syntax. All right. I want to know why I can't do this. So let's read this a little bit. All right. So we can't assign get many in type web storage. It's not assignable to the same property base type. All right. So K extends key of T keys options string any null defined promise object is not assignable to type. Okay. Alright, maybe I need to back out of this. It's just too much going on. Alright, so we have John Hansen says coding isn't always like ice cream and rainbow sprinkles. Yeah, it's definitely not. Alright, cool. Let's look back and let's look at the TypeScript docs. I need some refresher on what different syntax means. Different syntax. I don't know how to say that. It's not syntaxes, but different elements in the syntax means. TypeScript deep dive. That's what this is. All right. This is not the TypeScript docs. Let me go to the TypeScript docs. Check out class. So technically we're in a class. That's not what we need. Type inference. Advanced types. Using the in operator. The in operator now acts as a narrowing expression for types. Okay, cool. We got some in operator stuff going on here, right? So we have k in k. So let's see what that means, because I did not know. The in operator now acts as an narrowing expression for types. For n, where n is a string literal or string literal type and x is a union type, the true branch narrows to types which have an optional required property of n, and the false branch narrows to types that have an option. Okay, so I don't quite understand what's going on there. This declaration of files. Ooh. Alright, are we using, I believe we're using interfaces. Oh, there we go. This looks like what we have. Oh my goodness. Alright. Constructs a type with all the properties of T set to optional. This utility return a type that represents all subsets of the given type. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's see. John Hansen says, I spent hours figuring out the syntax for a context variable in a GraphQL query using filter regex, only to learn that it can be done. Yeah. Oh man, it definitely happens. Okay. So let's see what this does. Partial to do. You know what? I don't think this is what I thought it was. Alright, we already looked at that one. Number. Oh. Okay, so T is a type variable to ident. It allows us to capture the type the user provides, so we can have the information later. Interesting. All right, so it seems like this could mean different things. This is basically a variable. TypeScript is some wild stuff. What can I say? I mean, this is the kind of stuff that we're looking at here. All right, let's look back on our project. Let's go back to some of our types here in core. I kind of want to see if we can find like a similar function and see how it's handled. So the set multiple actually we weren't even there. Get multiple over here is using this same nearly the same as what we had before. So let's see what's going on. Alright, let's try some of this stuff in here. So we're gonna get mini. What does this as mean? Okay. Okay. That works. Alright, so it looks like as is just another way to say kind of like the same thing that we're saying here. It almost seems like we should be able to do, you know, this, but we know that like that didn't work. Unless, should we put it here? No. Maybe. Yeah, I didn't think that would work. The values here that need to be different, right? Alright. Oh, how do I do this? Let's see. Umberto says, I want to learn some TypeScript with you. Debugging a major feature at the moment, though, as in C# is a cast. And according is something I just looked at really quickly. It's similar in TypeScript, except that it tells the type checker to pretend that something has a different type. Alright, so maybe... maybe that's something that could be helpful. Alright. Maybe the keyword as. The keyword as tells it to pretend it's a different type. I mean, we have keys. Says, I don't really know what the issue is that you ran into. I only heard you asking what as meant, doing the multiprocessing thing in my head and failing. Yeah, that's what I was worried about as. The issue is just I can't figure out how to get these types to work, and it's all linked. So I think we were having like 3 issues basically that we were working on, and we kept going to the next issue and realizing that these issues are all related. So this 3rd issue, I think if we solve that, the other 2 are going to be solved. At least I think so, but I don't know for sure. We could try to move on to the other one, which looks like it's the same. Why not? Why not? Let's look. Let's see. What's this? What's the same one here? Is it 68? It says element implicitly has an any type because expression of type string can't be used to index type. No index signature parameter type string was found. Key value key. I mean, it really should be a string. How do I handle this? I'm just not, I don't know the syntax well enough to know what I'm supposed to do with stuff like this. This.storage.set item. Alright, so this should be... I mean, this sort of set item. I don't know what the type would be on... I mean, this is either local storage or session storage. Like, this is not even a typed thing. And then this one, 83. Another one with promise all. Unassignable to type void. Hmm. If we don't return anything, that fixes that. But I don't know if that would break this or not. Let's run our test. Unit. Hey, it didn't break our test. Let's see. I kind of think we're going to have to return something from here, though. Yeah, like if we remove this, I think it would. It just moves it. So the type is neither void nor any must return a value. Alright, so that's not functions clear type is neither void nor any must return a value. Let's see. See what this does. Keep talking about these objects not being assignable, and I'm just not. Alright, so I think it brought us down to 4 errors. So we have 4 errors. Let's run our unit tests. I believe they're all passing. Alright, so our unit tests all pass, and we have 4 TypeScript errors. I think at this point, it's probably best to just submit the pull request, point out that we cannot figure out what the heck is going on with these TypeScript errors. So let's do that. Let's do a git status. So I don't even remember what we changed at this point. Alright, we did do some stuff on the ts config, and then the test. Alright, these all make sense then. So let's do git add. Let's try to add them all. Okay, cool. There was something where like stuff wasn't. I was trying to add all and it wasn't adding all, so it worked this time. I'm glad about that. Git commit m, and we're gonna call this a fix, I think, or maybe. I'll just call it a fix, and we'll say resolve type errors. Origin WebStorage. All right, so we got the WebStorage going. Let's look at our pull request. Yeah. I think we had it up here at one point, right? Alright, I don't know where it is, but we'll just find it again. Pull request. Alright, so it should be going through the checks now. To wait for it to go through some of these checks before we do anything, just to verify. It should pass everything except this types. And then we will ask some questions. There we go. Okay. So our types. To see the details. Just making sure it's the same stuff. Alright, yeah. I'm going to copy this and see if we can put it in here. Let's do at. What's that? KRIZZU. Yep, Krizu. Move the. Storage. Okay. All right, let's explain a little bit. Okay. All right, let's preview. All right, let me explain a little bit of what I was doing. Sorry for being so quiet. So right now I just said I'm just reading this out for anybody that can't see the screen so well or whatever. You might have a bad connection, or device might be, screen might be small. Ooh, what happened? Please be saved. Yes. All right. Okay. So I just said I removed the example app and finished the unit test for local and session storage, right? Which I had done the example app removal yesterday. It says everything's working, but I have a few type errors that I haven't been able to resolve, right? Like, any assistance with the type errors that you could provide would be greatly appreciated. Then I included those type errors and said it seems like the first 2 type errors are related to the third one and would be resolved along with it. All right, so it seems like that's kind of like all the relevant info that's needed right now. What I'm hoping is that Krizu, or whose real name is Christoph, so it seems like maybe Christoph. I'm hoping that Christoph is the one that made the types originally, and we'll be able to look at that and say like, oh, obviously this is why it's not working. So probably could have done this an hour ago, but it just kind of kept seeming like we were finding clues to be able to fix it. So I did learn a bit about TypeScript along the way though, so it wasn't like it was wasted time or anything. But I'm gonna leave that comment. Okay, and then now we're not completely on hold here, right? Because there are 2 other things that need done, right? So there's an example app that's basically already done, although realistically it could use a little bit of stuff with the UI, right? Like it's not a super attractive looking UI right now, so but it's functional, and the only purpose is it just has buttons to test out what you can do with this async storage for web API, right? So we could work on that and open up another pull request for that, although I don't want to open a pull request for that until this gets accepted, because we'll have to use what's in here in that pull request. So I think it would save time in the long run to just wait for this to be done. It doesn't mean I can't work on it, it just means I'm not going to submit it. And then the other PR to submit is the documentation. So that we might be able to do, because that documentation will be for the user. It's not going to be for somebody who wants to maintain this repository. It's going to be for the user. And the way the user interacts with this is not really going to change. They're going to use the API the same way no matter what. We're just kind of implementing it and making it all work. So we could probably get started on the documentation as well. I don't know that I would stream the documentation part of it. Maybe. I mean, that might be useful. Documentation is a part of coding, so that kind of makes sense. But yeah, for now, I don't know. Christoph's in Poland, so it's late there. It's definitely past. I don't remember what the time is, time differences for sure, but I believe it's late evening. So I don't know when he works on this, but it seems like he works on it early morning. So I don't expect to get any response back soon. Yeah, if I do, then wonderful. But I'm thinking probably won't do anything else with this till Monday. The other thing I'm not sure about is whether he expects those any other optional features to be a part of this pull request or later pull requests. This is kind of the minimum amount of features, but he has said in other parts of the repo that that object for options is where we would do extra stuff, I don't know, maybe caching, or I'm not really sure what that extra stuff is that I can't remember what he said, but from my point of view, I think maybe that should wait, and just getting this out there and usable would be better. But I'm not the maintainer, and he certainly has more information about who's using it and what they need. So I think that's all I'm going to stream for today. someone named Baby Thanos came into the stream and says, "What's up? Hey, Baby Thanos." So anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, and thank you for all the help. Definitely got a lot of help in the live chat. So yeah, Hacktoberfest is coming. So check out my video on Hacktoberfest to get involved. It's a good way to contribute to open source, and I wouldn't want you to miss out on a free shirt and probably some laptop stickers. Can't remember what all you get. Definitely a shirt though. And I'm gonna try to stream more often and put out some videos more often. I definitely enjoy it, and I'll be doing it on my channel, and then hopefully soon I'll be back on the Free Code Camp channel as soon as that's available again. Right now it's you can't live stream on the Free Code Camp channel, so as soon as that's all sorted out, I'll probably do some streams back on that channel again as well. But anyway, have a great weekend, and yeah, hopefully I'll see y'all next week at some point.